Phil?
Are you listening? Damn.
Hey, so what we're going to do today is we're going to start trying to make we're going to try to recreate a feature that Pro has, and we're going to do it in Debut. So we're going to do perspectives. Now, perspectives is when you grab a plane and you shift it on an angle, right? So if you have a straight wall, you can, shift it this way like it's an opening door. I used it like it was an overhead shot, and I was panning in, and the landmass went from this, and it started just panning like that, right? So we're gonna learn how to do that in Debut. So I want to show you an example of how it's done in Pro, and it's very fast, just so you can get an understanding of what it is and how you would use it. So I have this layer, and I've made two layers, one for Debut and one for Pro. So in Pro, it's very easy. There's a perspective tool, and you just grab the perspective tool and you shift it, right? So there you go. So what I've done is I've created a 5-second animation. I already keyframed at keyframe 0 and 1. I'm currently at key 120, and I just did this. So basically what I've done is I've made the perspective shift. Now, honestly, for it to look more realistic, I would probably zoom in with the camera and do other effects. But the trick that we're trying to pick up here is just the perspective aspect, right? So truly, if I wanted this to look more realistic, I would probably grab the layer and maybe increase it in size and move it off to the side, and it would just look something more like this. And but we're not going to do that, or we can do it at the end once we've got both of them worked out. But so what we have is just this. It's the plane of the animation moving sideways. And actually, do I want more tilt on that? Nah, for the time being, we're going to keep it at that. So how do you do this? Well, there's no way internally. You can kind of manually fix those points within Debut, but it's really hard. So one of the things that we can do is you can grab either Photoshop or GIMP. I don't have Photoshop, but I do have GIMP. So we're going to open up GIMP, and GIMP is just an open source Photoshop. We're going to grab GIMP, and I'm going to grab my file, right? And in that file, here it is. I actually rendered this file from the straight front shot. I just did a render and then save that image, right? And that's what you have here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and we're going to grab GIMP, and we're going to use this select tool, right? The square select. And you want to just select that object. You don't want to transform the entire thing. Then you're going to go over here to the perspective tool, which could be also Shift P. And what we're going to do is we're just going to click once inside the selection. And as you see, you now have a perspective grid. Now, the great thing about this is because of the way it is, the way the animation is, we can actually keep these two as a guide. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab this tool and we're going to go up. We're going to grab this tool and we're going to go down, right? And we can even bring it in a little bit if we want a tighter look, or if we want a more wide look, we can do that. So if we wanted something like this, we would need a tighter look. So it would need to go a little bit higher and a little lower here and a little bit tighter in, right? So this will allow you, and then now you can use these as guides, these numbers, if you understand them. They're just coordinates, they're not hard. And there you go. So we transform it, and there you go. Now, actually, it's man, I don't want it to do that. There we go. I don't want any pixel, any points, well, whatever. So there you go. It's not exact, but it's fairly similar, and we can even undo that, and we want to get a little bit wider on it. Right? We can get a little wider if you wanted. Yeah, that might look better if you went with a wider angle. See? So now we're doing this. Got that shot. Transform. And so what I ended up doing is I just selected anywhere. I picked the select tool, just click anywhere, and now it will allow me to export. And to make it easy, oh, it's in the right folder. Perspective JPEG. Nope, do not replace. GIMP. GIMP. Perspective JPEG. Export. Export. There you go. Now, please make sure that when you do have a selection after a transform, to select anything, just so you have a deselect. Do not do select none. I was trying to do this, it wasn't working. So there you go. We can close down GIMP now. And now we're going to go into debut, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to grab that image. Let's go to frame 0. And let's add the image at hand. And GIMP perspective. And there you go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to grab this image and we're going to take that off so that, and we're just going to match the points. Actually, Control Z, Control Z. Okay, we're going to go to frame 120 and now we're going to match the points, right? So you just match the points real quickly. Man, my accuracy today is shot. I use a gaming mouse too, so it should. Alright, so we're just going to match the points. And again, this could be done in Photoshop and several other software. It could even be done in Illustrator or Inkscape if you're good enough with the tool. I think it's much easier either here or in Photoshop though. Right? And I'm not being detailed, but you would probably want to be detailed and make sure the lines are closed and whatnot. I'm trying to make a quick and fast and dirty tutorial here, right? So now we show debut, we hide this, and what you have is this, right? It's the same perspective shot, and it's slightly different. It's not quite as nice or as accurate as. Actually, it could be because maybe I should have just put it a little bit tighter. You can mess with it, but see, it allows you to do a perspective shot that would otherwise not have been as easy to make before. And let's see. Let's go to frame 120. Wow, I stopped it right at 120. Let's be more accurate. There. Okay. Yeah, so now, see, and there you go. There's your shot. There's a little bit of separation here. You might have to adjust it. Well, let me see. Do you need to adjust it? Oh no, it does the same thing here. Look. See it? It actually distorts it there too. So that's something that we'd have to fix, you know. They both have that same fault. You see how the door doesn't go all the way to the bottom and the door doesn't go all the way to the bottom here. So it's really, but as you can see, there you go. You have your two overlaid shots of the same thing. And what happened was I should have gone a little bit deeper here. Maybe, oh, see, you don't want to do that. You always want to do a select. You know, I should have maybe have gone a little bit deeper. And I can't do it now. I'm transforming a transform. But discard changes. But that's basically one of the ways that you can do a perspective shot very fast, very quick, and very dirty. And as you can see, you have the one made with Pro and the one made with Debut. And so it'll give you some reference. You could even, if you're good with Blender, Maya, 3D Max, just make a straight square plane and do the perspectives that way, and you'll probably even get a better effect. And then just take an image of the picture of that one image, bring it in here and just adjust it. So I couldn't recreate it exactly, unfortunately, but at least, it's just a little bit of tweaking, a little bit of working with it, and and you could, what's it called? Watch. Oh crap! I can't do that. Okay, well, it's just a little bit of tweaking, a little bit of working with it, and you can make a perspective shot as well.